Wanting a strong woman is a sign of homosexuality. Any masculine man wants a submissive woman. This is a loaded statement. This is something that I've thought about a lot when it comes to Black men and their dating style and what they're attracted to and what they're used to or expecting from Black women. To help me make my point today, I'm going to elaborate on this image here. That's what this guy is talking about. Liking a woman that's in the image of a man or in that man's own image. This particular type of man likes women in his own image. So the former I could see as being homosexuality, like this man says, and the latter is what? Narcissism. A lot of Black men don't realize that they have the narcissism within them, and that intense focus on oneself causes them to be in love with their own image. So I'm going to get into where narcissism comes from, the etymology of the word. So the term narcissism or narcissist comes from Greek mythology. It's based off of a character named Narcissus, who was a hunter. He was a very good-looking hunter. If I feel like I'm not doing the story justice, I'll include a video, but Narcissus was a very, very good-looking man. Everyone thought so. And he did something one day that a Greek goddess didn't like, and she cursed him. So one day he passes by a pond and he sees his own reflection. Whatever curse she put on him, which is basically the curse of narcissism, being obsessed with one's self and one's looks, he saw his reflection in the water and he fell in love with himself. And it was a really intense type of love, a love that you would only have for another person, never for yourself. And he experienced all of the intensity that one could experience when it comes to attraction and love and adoration. And after a while, he realized, because he couldn't break away from staring at his own reflection, staring at himself, being in love with himself. But after a while, he realized that it was him that he was in love with this entire time. It was his own reflection. It was him. It was not another person. He realized that that type of love would be unrequited. I guess you could get deep with it and say, yes, you can love yourself in that way, but it just wasn't another person. He realized he'd been staring at himself the entire time. He'd been in love with himself the entire time. So there are different versions. In one version, he commits suicide because he realizes that he'll never be loved in that way by anyone else. In other versions, he stared at himself for so long that he died of starvation and thirst. He couldn't break away from staring at his own image and being in love with his own image. So that's where narcissism comes from. So that explains part of the reason, or one reason, why a man would be attracted to a woman that looks like a man. He is attracted to his own image. He is in love with his own image due to narcissism. Now, as far as this being a sign of homosexuality, I don't know if I would call it homosexuality or if I would label a man a homosexual for feeling that way, but I would lean more towards the effeminate label. So I did a video about this, what I'm about to get into. Watch my video about Norman Bates. In that video, I explained the reason why I believe that a lot of Black men have a Black woman inside of them. It's a spirit that he's either ruled by or he tries to reject because he knows that that's not his true nature and it shouldn't be inside of him. So this is a conflict, a very real conflict for a lot of Black men. And that's what this guy is really talking about. He called it gay, but he really means effeminate. Effeminate men like to see women in masculine roles because they feel like a woman. They feel like a Black woman who needs to be handled or saved. He wasn't shown how to be a man, or he just doesn't know how to be a man, and he just needs direction or guidance like a woman. He sees Black women as a man who's going to lead or direct or save him. Again, the guy calls it gay, and I would have too. We don't have all day to get deep with things all the time, but it's effeminate. Black men who rely on Black women to work really hard, like they would or like they do. So now I'm thinking about the type of men who maybe like women who work in construction, or I think we've all seen that type of image. Women with the bikini on, with the boots and the construction hat and stuff. That does it for a lot of men. So these types of men tend to be comfortable with women who are in roles that are usually for men. So Black men who rely on Black women to work really hard, like they would, like they do, they would also fall into this category. Black men seem to be the only race of men that romanticize Black women being like men. We can hear it in the music. It's usually R&B. I don't know about the rap music. I think that the rappers boast about what it is that they can provide for the woman. But in R&B music, you know, you have those songs where they're talking about she has her own, she's picking me up in her whip, she's working that 9 to 5 and still looking cute. You know, like they'll be comfortable with women having either more than what they have or having what they have. And it's coming from that place. Most other men would be talking about what they provided for her. I bought her the Lamborghini. She doesn't have to work. I bought her this mansion. Whatever it is, you know. Now, I know that this may seem emasculating, but this is something that Black men have to get together and really think about. All Black people have to work on things. As time goes on, everything is coming out. Black people are starting to become really vocal about community secrets and a lot of the issues that we've been sweeping under the rug. And this is a good thing. So this is definitely one of them. Black men need to think about this. Now, going back to the narcissistic thinking, these are the type of men that see Black women in their own image. So everything that they do, they want Black women to do. For instance, if a Black woman doesn't work or she's not strong in a masculine way, you know, he'll judge her as if she's another Black man. So she'll be all kinds of punk, broke ass nigga, lazy ass nigga, and we're used to this because it's in the culture. There's this woman named Tiffany on YouTube, right? Black woman, good looking woman. And she has this character that wears Timbs. It's like a classic thing for this character. She wears Timbs and she's really abrasive. And if you go over to her channel and you look at the comment section, you'll see how many men are in love with that image, in love with that character. It's a real thing. And it's not just hood dudes. It's a certain type of Black man who's like this. And there just happens to be a lot of them. Black men have to think about that. This Black man has thought about it and he sees it as a problem because he's not like that. What do you guys think? I'll catch you in my next video.